guys, welcome back to the channel. It's back with another video. So today we're doing a reaction for Ren, but it's not the typical thing. We're actually gonna break down a video he posted. Like, it was right before the Kujo Beatdown came out, I think. So I had reacted to Kujo Beatdown, but I was informed that it was actually a diss track. So I didn't know that, and he told me to come check out this video because this is where he just kind of breaks down why him and KUJOBEATS was getting into it and why Sick Boi is off all streaming platforms. So we're gonna jump into that and we're gonna check this video out. I'm not gonna waste too long of an intro because this is a very long video. But anyways, guys, you guys know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section about the video as we try and check it out and see why Ren is pissed off. My boy got a 10.
This is a video that I never ever really wanted to have to make, but it's very important for me that I do. All the time, artists all over the world pour their souls into their work, and that work is tainted by money or greed.
Yeah.
A lot of you will have been asking me the question why Sick Boi has disappeared now, as well as YouTube on streaming services. It's a video that was very close to me. It's a video that told my story about my health. It's a video that told the story of many other people who have been gaslit by the medical community. It's a story of greed in the music industry, ironically, funnily enough. It's also a song that I poured tens of thousands of pounds into for a music video, for promotion. It was also the leading title of the only #1 album that I've got, so I was very, very proud of it. And we'll no longer have that song, guys. And I want to go into the reasons why. Also, I do recommend sticking around to the end of this video because I've got a very exciting announcement about all of this that relates to all of this right at the end.
I can't even imagine what that's like. Just like having a #1 song for your #1 album, you spend so much money, excuse me, to promote it, and then it's just like tainted to the point where you can't even have it on streaming platforms or your YouTube channel because of some kind of like corrupt shit in the background. Like, that's gotta suck, especially for like indie artists, like, you know, or smaller artists. Like, it just that sucks, dude.
People who have been following me for a while, they'll know the sort of person I am. They know the principles that I have, and they'll know how I treat other independent artists. So they'll know why it was so important for me to have to make this video. And I want it to be as unbiased as possible. Obviously, I'm emotionally affected by it, and that may leak in, right? But I want to share entire clips of these conversations so there can be no doubt. Also, if Kujo and his girlfriend want to share any more screenshots of other those conversations, I encourage them to, because I believe that this should all be public knowledge so there can be no doubt. Rather than taking people's words from it, I would like them just to see transparently what has happened here. To give context for all of this, back in 2022, I buy a beat from BeatStars, right? For anyone who doesn't know, BeatStars is a platform that connects producers to artists who need beats. I do produce most of my own work, but I wanted to find some hip-hop beats for inspiration. What I would usually do is buy a beat, arrange it slightly differently, tweak it myself, add my own vocals, add my own layers and stuff like that. I find this banging beat, right? From a producer called KUJOBEATS, which I buy an unlimited license for. This is all very important to keep in mind for later on, right? I buy an unlimited license, which means that I am able to put it on all streaming platforms and get as many streams as I want, and all.
Yeah, okay, so unlimited uses, use $99, use for... Damn, $99 is crazy for... Well, I can imagine a beat. Especially if it pops off, like, you can make back that profit in droves. Profit, live performances, radio broadcasting rights, unlimited stations, one music. Okay, I understand this just because like I use a program called Epidemic Sounds, and it's basically the same thing. But I pay like a monthly subscription to get unlimited uses while I have that subscription going. So yeah, I get it.
This is all very important to keep in mind for later on, right? I buy an unlimited license, which means that I am able to put it on all streaming platforms and get as many streams as I want, and all recording on platforms like YouTube, etc., right? After I do this, I send my YouTube guy that I work with, and I send the publishing team an email just giving them a heads up, being like, yo guys, I bought this beat, they need to be registered correctly, content ID needs to be turned off. I'll put a clip of that. I'm putting screenshots of those messages here, just in case Kujo claims I never did this.
Hey guys, because Sick Boi was a licensed beat, thought I'd send you guys this to make sure nothing will be breaching the contract. We need to turn content ID off when distributing audio and visual. Okay.
I did do this. I also went the extra mile and messaged the team and said, look, we need to credit him on Spotify credits and stuff like that as well, because sometimes artists don't always fully credit producers.
Hey guys, can we update Spotify, Apple credits, etc. to include producers of the track? I sent the licenses over for PLS. If you read the license, it says they need to be credited, and just from a moral standpoint, it'd be good too. It's wicked. It'll have what they want. Wait, hold on. It'll have what they want to be credited as on the licenses. Some of them are different. Wicked. All right, cool. Yeah. So obviously, it's more
credits and stuff like that as well, because sometimes artists don't always fully credit producers. I think that I forgot to do it in the YouTube description for like the first month or two, and then I updated it, and then he was fully credited the whole time, right? That was just a lapse because there was a lot going on. I was in Canada treating and stuff. But anyway, he was credited fully, like very soon in everywhere. And as far as I was aware, registered everywhere. So I don't think anything of it, right? Also, in the BeatStars contract, it says very clearly that the person selling you the beat has to own the beat. And if there are any elements of the beat that he doesn't own, he has to let you know. This is very important to remember for what is to follow as well, right? So yeah, I think there's no problems. I buy the beat.
Hold up. You're telling me this dude is selling something that doesn't belong to him? Is that nah? Oh, that's some grimy shit, bro.
Record a song. This is before things have blown up with my music, so I'm still pretty underground artist at this point. I record the track, put it out. I even get a message from him at some point, which is also important to remember because of the hypocrisy of this whole situation. That's like, wicked, I love the track. Okay? Remember that too. Before I begin, I just want to add this. I have no problem with BeatStars. I think they're a very innovative company who actually help people make art, which I'm very, very passionate about. I think the contracts and the things you're getting into could be clearer, because we're now in a situation negotiating older tracks bought from BeatStars. I would love to talk to the if anyone from there is watching, I imagine they will be at some point. I would love to talk to the CEO, founder of BeatStars, face to face, just because I want to understand how something like this could have happened, and I want to understand why it escalated the way it did, because from what I've heard, he's someone who cares a lot about artists, and someone who creates a platform like that, I think must be very passionate about music. I'd love to chat to you if you're listening, and I'd love to figure out why this happened and how we can stop things like this happening in the future. I also think that there needs to be a bit more stringent checks on if people are selling unlicensed samples, because then things tend to get a little bit sticky like they have here. Anyway, that's it. I have no problem with BeatStars because
honestly, like, yeah, that Ren brings up a really good point here, because like honestly, these artists, like they're thinking they have full license to the song or the beat, and they can't even now. Like something happens and where someone else is like, hey, that's my beat. He's like, well, I bought this beat from this place. He's like, oh, they must have took it or whatever is the reason they do it. I'm sure he'll get into details about like what exactly happened with that particular beat later in the video. But yeah, like I 100% agree with him. Like there needs to be a more strenuous process, especially if you have people buy beats and these premium updates that are like $100. Like, bro, $100 for a beat is kind of like, it's nutty, but like I get why it would be that price, especially. But like if you're gonna charge somebody that much money, you need to have a better a background check for these producers that are giving out or selling their beats to other people. We got to make sure like these are like 100% accurate. Otherwise, you're gonna get into these like a lot of legal situations, especially with copyright. Like as a Twitch streamer who has to deal with that copyright when it comes to music, it's kind of annoying. So I definitely understand from his point of view. It's got to be even way worse because he's actually making music.
I'm not like they have here. Anyway, that's it. I have no problem with BeatStars because I'm not interested in going to war with them, because I think that it's really cool that there's a platform like that exists for artists and producers to be connected. Just thought I'd put that out there and make that clear. Right, so I arrive home from Canada after a 1.5 year long treatment of treating brain damage and autoimmunity, which a lot of you will know if you've been following my journey.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting a nice 2 weeks with my mates before I do my first ever solo show in 5 years because of my health. So I'm just like, I want a nice chill time. I want to be able to focus on rehearsing and stuff. Very early on, I wake up to a message saying, yo, your song Sick Boi has been taken down. So I look at it, and sure enough, it's been copyright striked from this guy KUJOBEATS, the channel. And initially I'm like, oh, this just must be some automatic fuck up. So like, I don't take it too seriously. I send him a message like, yo, there must have been a technical error or something here. No response for 2 days. So I'm like,
yo, man, my song just got copyright striked. Had paid for that and tagged like you requested. What's going on? My channel has a copyright strike now, and that video has millions of views. Was paid for through BeatStars, and we even spoke about it. Oh boy,
what's going on? So I check his channel, and then I see a comment of that beat that he licensed me, and I see a comment that's like, Ren has left me no choice. I'm sorry that I had to do this. And I'm like, okay, so this was intentional. Like, what? Like, the last conversation I had with this guy was months ago, with him being like, yo, big up your work, it's sick. So I'm like super confused about it. So I send him another email like, dude, what's going on? Again, I get absolutely no response. So I put a comment on his YouTube comment section, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get hold of you. Why are you ignoring me? Like, I just want to resolve this amicably. What's going on?
Hey man, wanting to understand what's going on with this dispute. I thought you had been credited fairly everywhere. If you hadn't been, it's totally my bad. I was going through brain damage treatment at the time of your message, but I thought I'd updated it all correctly. In regards to the sample, we got a message saying that the sample of the choir had not been cleared, but I had nothing to do with what happened next. That was my publisher. They just told me they were dealing with it, and I heard nothing about it since, so I'm really confused as to what's going on. But I'd love to sort it out so everyone's happy, because I don't want, for your sake or mine, for this to get into legal, because it's such a pain in the ass and costly thing to happen. If you could let me know who in my team you've been talking to and what they've said, I'll get on it, because if it's something they've done wrong on their end, I want to resolve it ASAP so everyone is happy. I just really try and focus on music and stay out of all this business stuff, so I had no idea there was an ongoing dispute going on. Just got forwarded some comments from you replying to someone, which I was kind of surprised about. Okay, so he's been reaching out to this guy. This guy's just ignoring him. That's crazy, bro. Like, especially if you had something to do with business and song related, like, wouldn't you want the artist that you're trying to like talk to, you're leaving this like very like decrypted kind of message where it's like, hey, Ren's left me no choice. Okay, so you did that, you take down the beat, but then Ren directly has been trying to reach you. You would think that you would want to resolve that like professionally, especially you being a producer. Like, that's kind of weird, bro. That's like to relate to streaming, if I was trying to buy something from a graphic designer for like some new like logos or like stuff like that, and then like I buy it, and then they said, and then like I can't use it because they sold it to someone else, something like that. It'd be like a similar situation, kind of similar to that, if you get my meaning.
Finally, I get a response on Instagram, and for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put all of these responses in their full form so that there can be no doubt as to what happened. I'm just going to read out like the key moments and explain the key moments. But if anyone's like interested in deep diving so there can be no doubt as to what's happened here, feel free to pause it. If Kujo and his girlfriend, like I said, feel like I've left anything out, they're welcome to post it. I have nothing to hide about this situation. So he responds, and he tells me that he's been talking to my lawyer for months, which I have no idea about. I've been in Canada. And he seems like quite a nice guy.
Okay. Hey, Ren, I'm really sorry that it came to this. I especially asked my legal rep not to request strikes since I wanted to avoid this type of situation. My rep has been in contact with your lawyer, who has been exceedingly incompetent in the handling of this situation. Again, I'm sorry for the total cock up, and I hope you're doing okay. We have been in negotiations with blah 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 for many months, and he has yet to come forward in reasonable terms according to industry standards. So yeah, I try to talk to Blank to see what he says. I'm still waiting on updates from my rep at BeatStars. I had no idea at all who you're talking to. He should have told you. All I was told was that a couple months ago the choir sample hadn't been cleared, and that they were chasing us for money, and that it was being dealt with. So I had figured it was being sorted behind the scenes. That's why this has all been so surprising. All I was told was that a couple of months ago the choir sample hadn't been. I was made aware of. Sorry, and I'm sorry it caused you trouble. Yeah, man. Sorry, this caught you off guard. Okay.
months, which I have no
He doesn't seem like a douchebag. Maybe it's just a misunderstanding. I'm sure Ren will get into that as the video goes on.
idea about. I've been in Canada, and he seems like quite a nice guy initially. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
maybe this has all just been a misunderstanding. I remember even saying to like Connor and that, I was like, this has probably just been a misunderstanding and something's gone wrong here. Don't worry. He seems like you're all right, dude. We will sort this out. But then after that little exchange, I noticed a comment in the YouTube comment section on his video saying that I'm lying about the situation.
I have waited over a year for Ren and his team to follow the terms of the contract they signed for this beat. During the whole period, I have not issued any strikes with the face that they would make things right. I asked my legal representation not to issue strikes initially, as I had hoped Ren and his team would do the right thing. Unfortunately, they have delayed and avoided providing any reasonable terms to my team, which shamefully long periods of silence. Respectfully, the terms of the contract. Respect the terms of the contract. Don't spread misinformation. Don't lie. Okay, I don't really get this because like Ren showed he showed the actual like receipt for the license for the song for the beat. So I don't get where this is coming from here. Like, is there something else like outside of the beat you have to pay for? Like if your song blows up or something? Like is that what that is? Because like it seemed like the license agreement that he posted early in the video was basically saying that you know, $99 for commercial use and for basically use across Spotify, YouTube, and all the other platforms. So it's kind of interesting where this is kind of going on here. But you know, I'm sure it'll be he'll talk about it right now.
When I thought that we like on the same page here, so I pull him up on it, and he's like, "Oh no, I didn't say you were lying." When he clearly did. That should have been like the first red flag for me, but still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, maybe another misunderstanding. Anyway, so I contact my lawyer to find out what the hell's happening because I'm in the dark about all of this
Mr. Bowman, your reservation at
situation. And he explains to me that I've been sold a beat with a stolen sample, with an unlicensed sample, and that the Bulgarian choir sample owners had chased him and gone, look, you've used this beat without permission, you've used this sample without permission, and so you need to give us 50% of the publishing split. And what my lawyer's done, because we were sold a beat in good faith and it wasn't actually cleared, he's reached out to Kujo and gone, look, I think you need to absorb this for selling this,
Right.
In bad faith, basically. And they've gone, no, we're not going to absorb that. And then it's escalated, and I think because my lawyer was being slightly slow with the responses, they also, keep in mind, I don't know any of this is happening right now. To get my attention, they issue a copyright strike on the video, which affects my YouTube channel, by the way, and the video gets taken down as a form of leverage, which is a bizarre way of dealing with things, I think, because it would have been a good idea to contact me, maybe, like anyone first, if this was getting so like blown up. Like,
hold on. So the whole reason, all right, he issued all this bullshit is because he don't want to absorb the cost of using someone else's sample, the Bulgarian sample. Like, bro, if you stole somebody's choir sample, you have an obligation to pay for that. Like, and then you're trying to thrust this onto Ren when all Ren did was buy a beat from you that in good faith you had sold him. Now, obviously, this is all from Ren's perspective, but Ren's a really good dude, and like he's showing receipts and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, dude, it's like, come on, bro. Like, if you sold somebody a beat, like if you're selling a product in good faith, that means that, you know, there's nothing wrong with that product legally or anything like that. That's like if I was to get a beat from like Epidemic Sounds, use it on a video, and then it gets striked. My channel gets striked from a different copyright from a different artist saying that Epidemic Sounds stole that a sample or part of the sample for it. You know, that'd be the equivalent to that. So like, I'm a little confused on like, I forget. Sorry, something went up my nose. Anyways, but yeah, that's so messed up, dude. That's so messed up. You literally have the obligation to take that sample, especially if it's proven, especially in court. If you take this to court and it's proven that your beats was stolen, that you remixed it and sold it to somebody else. That's kind of crazy, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, like that's crazy, bro. Like, and then you issue a copyright strike. Like, bro, I would be so mad if I was Ren. A copyright strike, bro, that's a big no. Because, like, obviously, if you guys have a YouTube channel or know anything about the YouTube channel, 3 strikes and your channel's down. So, like, that's crazy, bro. Like, this is, like, all their fault because they sold a beat that wasn't theirs. It's messed up, man. And the fact that Ren has to go through this because of a Sick Boi is crazy.
Maybe the lawyers, maybe Kujo could have actually reached out to me, the artist. Nobody did. So I found that a bit bizarre. Any fucking way. Then I read another comment that Kujo's posted, calling me a coward to pay the royalties he's owed. And I'm like,
What royalties? But what royalties is he talking about? That don't make sense, bro. You sold a beat that is under a contract from I forget the name of the website. From there, once your music is up there, that license for that beat, and they pay for that commercial license to use that beat, like that you can't. I'm pretty sure you can't collect royalties off that, right? Like, maybe am I wrong for that? Because I don't think that's how it works, bro. Because, like, you know, I mind you, I'm going off of like something similar in terms of like that kind of negotiation where it comes to Epidemic Sound, where I'm allowed to use that type of I'm allowed to use the music for my videos and stuff like that because I pay a monthly subscription. I'll bring it up later in the video if I can find out exactly a contract for Epidemic Sound to kind of like talk about what I'm saying.
what royalty? That's also in my head, the publishers are just paying him the money, and now the situation has to change until everyone agrees on it. But I wasn't even privy to that conversation about what a fair split should be yet. So I was like, what? I don't owe you. I don't owe this guy money. Like, there's no master splits on the BeatStars contracts, by the way. So all money that comes in to Kujo, which should be paid to Kujo, rightly so, comes from the publisher, which is nothing to do with me, by the way. I explained this so many times in this conversation, by the way, and he's adamant to say, probably short of like 50 times, pay me my money. I am nothing to do with his money, right? So it's a very bizarre thing to keep saying, but I try to explain that.
Let me hear say that one more time.
With me, by the way. There's no master splits on the BeatStars contracts, by the way. So all money that comes in to Kujo, which should be paid to Kujo, rightly so, comes from the publisher, which is nothing to do with me, by the way. I explained this so many times in this conversation, by the way, and he's adamant to say, probably short
and
of
the publisher he's talking about is BeatStars. Or I think it's the name of the
like 50 times, pay me my money. I am nothing to do with his money, right? So it's a very bizarre thing to keep saying, but I try to explain that to him patiently, never really takes it in. Anyway, he calls me a coward on this comment, so I pull him up on that. This actually starts to then rub me up a little bit. So I'm like, I pull him up on that. It's saying, like, the hell, like, cowardly. Anyway, I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt at this point. Anyway, despite this, I feel like he's probably just misinformed, so I still take his side on it, and I go on to reassure him he'll get paid his publishing money because I want him to get paid his publishing money. Doesn't affect me in any way. So, like, I was like, yeah, I'll chase it up for you. I let him know that I'm happy to split publishing if there's a bit of a grey area, and I'm kind of reassuring him. It's really important to remember this, by the way, guys, because some of the lies that are posted later make me out to be really unreasonable. So I'm like, yo, if there's some simple mistake, let's split the publishing. It's cool. I'm happy to do that.
What I want is, which is what it's telling me, is where you legally obliged to either inform me or clear the sample before I bought it. If yes, you should cover publishing. If no, let's just split the publishing equally on whatever shares left over after the guys chasing sample have their share. To me, that's not rocket science, but no one can give me a clear answer. Also, what I still totally don't understand is why was there a copyright strike on the YouTube channel, which had absolutely nothing to do with publishing. Because whether that was you or your representative, that's a really, I'm not going to say that word, weird thing to do that harmed my own hard work. Yeah, I don't care about whatever the split ends up being. All I care about is what is legally right or wrong here. So I don't understand why no one can give me an answer. It's so simple to me. Okay, that's true. All I want to know is nobody's telling me is where you legally obliged to either inform me or clear the sample before I bought it. Right here. Okay, this is the important bit in this whole thing. Inform me of or clear the sample before I bought it. Basically, he's saying that why wasn't the sample cleared for that Bulgarian sample and before I bought it? Like, this is like it's kind of like showing. It's like, yo, you should have had this sample cleared before you selling it to another customer, because now that customer is having to deal with this illegal thing because you weren't you didn't do your job and making sure that the sample was good to go and that there would be no issues. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Anyway, so he comes back to me and lies more. He says, it's always up to the performer to clear the sample. It's not, it's up to...
Bitch, what? Why would it be up to the performer to clear the sample? If in the contract it says, like, it's under, what you call it? It should be like, I forget what it says, fairly earlier. So anyways, let's see what he said. So like I said, BeatStars, on BeatStars it says that their sample contained on the beat. It's always up to the performer to clear the sample, but in this case, as you can see, we're willing to make the concessions for you to get a fair share. Also, what I still totally don't understand is why was there a copyright strike? I was under the impression that you would have received a warning. I had no idea that the video would be completely taken down. And the reason a strike was issued because your rep was dragging his feet and playing games with us, and it seemed our only possible negotiation tactic to get a response. That's bullshit. Like, this message the dude. Like, what are we talking about? You literally been messaging on Instagram that whole time, so that doesn't even make sense. Keep in mind, we all thought you were in the loop. I've been in the industry for over 7 years, and it's not the first time I've had to deal with this type of situation, so please excuse my initial lack of faith. Like, I don't want to sound like a cunt, but if everyone was paying me correctly, I would still be posting on YouTube and BeatStars and making music full-time. As it is, I'm working crap job, struggling to make ends meet, trying to make time for music. That's why I joined BeatStars Publishing, so someone would have my back and help me get what I'm owed, blah blah blah. 100% agree with you. I've emailed asking him to go back to you, to get back to you directly. We've been dealing with the situation for months, and I hate to see this hurting your art. So yeah, I also want to wrap this up immediately and get your song back online. That's crazy, bro. Like, if you're gonna sell somebody a product, right, that product should be cleared. Like, this is honestly, like, I've worked in, like, you know, crap jobs like food and the food industry and stuff like that. Like, you don't just sell a product without having it be correctly filtered through, making sure there's nothing wrong with it. That's like, okay, that's like me making a burger and the burger isn't like well done or cooked, and someone gets sick and it's like, hey, that's not my fault, you should have checked the burger. You know what I mean? Like that don't make sense, bro. Like, you should have checked that shit, dude. That is your obligation as the person selling a product to somebody to get that filtered and situated. The fact that you did not do that, like, which makes me be on Ren's side here, is crazy. It's crazy. You should have had that looked at. You should have made sure that shit was ready and 100% ready to go, instead of just like kind of dicking around and like making Ren do it. I never heard that. I've never heard a product that you just sell a product and then like you don't check it out, make sure that everything is all good. Especially when it comes to a beat in the music industry, copyright content, like, is a big thing. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It seems very unprofessional, in my opinion. But you know. Oh boy.
He comes back to me and lies more. He says, it's always up to the performer to clear the sample. It's not, it's up to the producer, but unless there's been a conversation. But in this case, as you can see, we're willing to make concessions for you to get your fair share. So actually, it's me making the concessions here, because he sold a stolen sample. And I'm like, you know what? You can still have some publishing split, right? So like, I'm actually being the one that's being quite reasonable here, and he's flipped on his head like, we'll be good to you, you know, because I've done nothing wrong in this situation. Anyway, I was like, and then he says, I was under the impression you would have received a warning. I had no idea that the video would be completely taken down. Another lie, as you'll see soon. He and his lawyer agreed to take this video down as a form of leverage. It was our only possible negotiation tactic to get a response. Maybe message me. They're scratching their head. How can we get a response? Okay, we'll take his video down, issue a copyright strike, which also I didn't actually violate the contract, not intentionally. So the only possible tactic, dude, message me, send me an email. Like, you've messaged me before to tell me that you love my work, so like, send me an email about this. Anyway, he says he also wants to wrap it up immediately and get the song back online. Another lie, as you will see later on, because he decides to stick to his guns and use the video as leverage. Anyway, the plot thickens. I get an email from their lawyer, and I'm not going to share it in case they start claiming I'm sharing things I'm not supposed to. But I get an email, and it says, on top of the publishing split, they want a £3,000 payment, right? They want a 15% retroactive split of the master, which has nothing to do with publishing, which means like 15% of everything the song has ever made since it came out. Retroactively, so since it's come out to this moment and then into the future, when I've paid for an unlimited sample, unlimited license beat, and with that you're talking money from record sales, you're talking money from streaming things, you're talking all of that, when they haven't put any effort into promoting the song. He's made a beat and he's stolen part of the beat, and he wants 15% of everything the song has ever made for that. Plus,
that's insanity, bro. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, dude, you did nothing. You stole a beat, you mixed it up, and you sold it to a customer. Did no promoting for that customer. Didn't help him make the song. Didn't write the song. You did the beat, but he, like you said, he remixes and remasters the beat, so it's not intentionally the same exact beat. And now you want 50% on masters. Well, and a £3,000? Like, what? Like, what is this? You're under contract from BeatStars. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, this is crazy, bro. This is insane, bro.
That's the £3,000 advance. Out of principle, I wasn't going to give him that. But because like may have been slightly open to negotiations if they hadn't used the song as leverage and actually treated me like a decent person. I hadn't put like lies about the situation, right? But out of principle, I wasn't going to agree to that. And also to clarify, when I've been in rooms with producers and we've made a song from scratch, I've done a lot of like 50-50 splits, or I've done like 25-75, or with other collaborated artists, we just agree on a split that's like 50-50, 25. So, you know, like 15% isn't outrageous, right? What's outrageous is that they already sold it with an unlimited license right from the get-go. So you go into BeatStars thinking, I'm buying an unlimited license for this much money, right? And I was broke at the time when I bought that beat. So it's like, you go into the situation buying something, and then later on down the line, it can come back and sting you if they go, oh, this slight thing, well, we found a loophole here, which means then now you owe us all this money, right? So it's like, it was kind of unfair, because say you buy a painting off somebody for £10, and then the price of it rises exponentially because maybe the painter dies or something, or he becomes really popular. You don't then just go back to the person you sold it to and go, oh, that painting's worth like 20 times more now, give me a bit more money for it, because the transaction's been done. And that's kind of how I felt about the BeatStars thing. It wasn't about me losing money, it was about the principle of like, we've stepped into this agreement, and I was in full faith thinking I was buying an unlimited sample, but that's unlimited license, sorry. But that's not actually what's happened, is it? Right? And it says that if I don't agree to this, they're within their right to claim 100% of the song because I have breached something in the contract, right? Now, this is what I breached. Apparently, Content ID was turned on the track, okay, on YouTube. As you'll see from my earlier on in this video, I actually specifically requested Content ID was turned off, and my YouTube guide did turn it off. There has been something to do with the distribution where somewhere along the line, even after I specifically requested this, it may have gotten turned on at some point, right? Where this doesn't actually make any money, which we've got proof of, because I actually let reactors, I let content creators monetize their own videos where they're reacting to my songs. I've done this since the start because I believe that everyone should get paid. It helps promote me. I'm not losing out. Everyone's a winner. A rising tide lifts all.
This is why I like Ren, bro. He's such a cool dude, bro. Like, he understands it. Like, especially, like, I mean, obviously, I'm not monetized. Obviously, I'm too small of a channel right now. But, you know, the bigger content creators who do this full time and put their effort and time into doing this reaction, and obviously, you know, it's not exactly, like, super hard work, but, like, it could be mentally taxing depending on, like, you know, what kind of content you do as a reactor. Like, you know, there's like guys like Knox Hill who will break down a song 40 minutes and will literally give you bar for bar. It's like more of an educational almost like reaction. And then you got someone like Shaq, No Life Shaq, who does like, you know, he's like a really hype individual. He'll be like the perfect hype man, I'm not gonna lie. He's just like, he has that personality that makes you just like, it just, you have a good time watching his reaction because he's like entertaining, he's jumping around, he's yelling, he's, you know, talking to imaginary people. Like, he does like a lot of like cool stuff like that. So like a lot of people who put their time into this reaction business, that sit there and find a way to like make these reactions entertaining, and also while also promoting to their audience. Like, because like, so if someone like No Life Shaq reacts to your song, that's a big thing, because like No Life Shaq is like 4 million subscribers here on YouTube. So like, you know, it works hand in hand. Like, the musicians make the music and then the reactors break it down. Because like, honestly, like today's day and age, reactors are like the radio station, because like no one uses the radio anymore. So they come to YouTube, they hear a song, they see what other people are saying about the song before they decide to download it or listen to it. And then like, depending on their reaction to it, you know, they might decide to keep listening to artists in the future, or it could just be like maybe they like the song they heard and they want to see other people's reaction to it as well. So like, it works hand in hand, and like having someone like Ren understand that point of view and not even and be okay with them monetizing the song is just so dope, dude. It's why like as a metal reactor, I love reacting to Ren, because he's such a cool dude, bro. He's such a cool dude, and he's so down to earth, and like it sucks that he was in that situation.
I believe that everyone should get paid. It helps promote me. I'm not losing out. Everyone's a winner. Right. A rising tide lifts all ships, baby. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm like, they're using this as leverage, but legally, but thus is the world. They actually had something to lean on with that. So they were like, look, if you don't agree to these terms, 15% retroactive master split, this share on publishing, and a £3,000 advance against the master, we're going to take 100% of what you own. At this point, I'm obviously pretty...
The wait is over.
Pretty pissed.
LTX Studio is now open to everyone. LTX Studio offers a single...
annoyed.
I'd be too.
It's pretty understandable, right? Anyway, at this point, they've got my attention, so there's no reason they need to use the video for Sick Boi as leverage, right? So I give them a fair warning. I'm like, mate, if you don't put the video back up on Friday, I'm going to have to put a public post explaining why it's down. And I give him a fair warning, which is also important to remember, because later on he plays the victim, saying that I've put a post encouraging my fans to bully him, which I didn't. I gave him a fair warning about it. I never once encouraged them to bully him. I just needed to explain why my video was down, because this was proper stressing me out, and I feel like I didn't want to be silenced about the whole situation. But the time comes around, I put the post out, and I'm always still thinking for like a positive solution here. So I have like a brainwave of like, oh, I've got a brilliant solution, right? So I approach him and I'm like, dude, look, I know that things got complicated here, but out of principle, I don't really want to budge on the master split for this thing, but I've got a much better idea. Because a lot of my fan base are like now giving him, because I put the public post out, a lot of my fan base are giving him grief, and I'm like, you know what, I want this guy's life to get ruined because of this. Like, despite how frustrated it's made me, I don't want this guy to get ruined. I don't want him to get abused about it. I just wanted to get the song back. That was the thing. So like, I sent him a message. I'm like, dude, look, I thought of a thing, because I am a man of principle. I didn't want to bend to threats and stuff about the song being claimed 100%. So I'm like, I've got a much better idea. Let's make a song. We'll split it 50-50 down the middle. Master, publishing, everything. A song from scratch. Then if we do that way, it'll be like a fuck you to the industry. Yeah, you and me on a track. You'll make way more money this way because it's 50-50. You'll also get my fan base on your side. It's going to be a great thing, because I'm always like, I want to look forward. I don't want to look backwards. I don't want to look at all these things that happened in the past. I'm like, this is actually going to make him even more. And he rejected it. He turned it down, which I still think to this day is a bit of a silly move given what happened.
Bro, are you fucking serious? Are you? What? I find it hard to envision working on another song until the current situation is sorted. I work another job on the side, so I really don't have time to read through all the rights now and give you a satisfactory answer at the moment. I will reiterate that all I want is a fair conclusion for both of us. I don't want us to bleed you dry or ask for anything that I am not owed. I respect you and what you have accomplished with your work. I have always treated every artist I have worked with more than fairly, and have always asked independent artists who granted have a much bigger challenge for less than my due. Dragging this out only truly profits your lawyer, since my representative is employed by BeatStars, not directly by me. Complications and misunderstandings only profit your lawyer, not you or me or anyone on my team. This whole situation is hurting you and your image because you have so much more to lose than me. So I wish we could have kept this private. I feel for you, Ren. I really do. How can you say that? How can he say that when he went on Ren's videos and was commenting that bullshit? Excuse my language, bro. Like that's pissing me off, bro. You literally went to this man's videos and commenting this horse shit. Like, you went on his videos calling him a coward. You went on his videos saying that he didn't get what you were owed when you literally licensed through BeatStars, made this beat and gave him the ownership of it for $99. And I was like, bro, this is pissing me off, bro. Like, this is the stupidity, bro. I think it's also fair to say the details of these negotiations far surpass our comprehension, as we are merely artists and have no background in law. That's why I'm letting, like, advise me on this. I've been effed by a lot of people in this industry, and that's why I joined BeatStars/Sony Pub. I need someone on my side who fully understands how this all works, and I have only been fair and honest with you, fair and honest with me and everybody. Okay, whatever. I find it hard to envision working on a song after this current situation. Image at all. This is a massive gaslighting. Tell me which one of the same is wasn't a lie, bro. This is crazy, dog. Like, this dude, like, what? Like, okay, if you have this messed up situation and it's very complicated, right? You work on this song with Ren, you knock it out the park 50-50. The song's gonna blow up. Ren's talented. Like, everybody knows, like, Ren, you know, he's a great artist. And, like, dude, the reactors all love Ren. So, like, you got people like Stevie Knight, you got Cliff Beats, you got No Life Shack. They all react to every time a song Ren puts out a big song, they react to it, and it's gonna blow it up even more. So, like, this situation doesn't make sense to me, because you can make potentially more money doing it that way, as like a way to, like, kind of settle what the current situation is with that previous track, which you're not owed royalties, you're not owed all that stuff, because you licensed the song through BeatStars Publishing, and then you gave them. The whole reason this whole situation is going is because, like, I don't know, because you stole a sample of it, and this whole situation is crazy, bro. I can't even imagine how like annoyed Ren must be with it. It's a crazy situation.
And what happened next, but it's a shame, man. And if you're watching this, you really should have taken that. I'm sure you are watching it. You really should have taken that deal. It was brilliant. Not only would it set you up with way more money, which is obviously what you're most care about in this situation, but it also got loads of my fans on your side, which would also set you up for all things that you release independently as well, and you'd have come out this looking good. Shame. I offered you that olive branch. I offered quite a few olive branches on numerous occasions, which you weren't interested in. Then after that, there's a post on Instagram saying that I've stolen samples from people, which is bizarre because I never have. So I send him a message being like, he said that a British artist has got in touch with him and been like, Ren steal samples, which is obviously complete made up bullshit, right? So I messaged him about that. I'm like, what samples have I stolen? The Vera Hall one that I just put out, totally cleared. We cleared that with publishing company because I actually don't like steal my samples. And then any covers that I've done, they're just on YouTube. You're allowed to do that because there's a cover license on YouTube. So, like, what are you talking about? To which he then just, like, ignores it, takes the post down, and then, like, and then just goes on some other fucking tangent. So it's like kind of grasping at straws here to make me look like the bad guy. So we arranged to have this call with the lawyers and Kujo, and I'm actually really excited to have the call because it's the first time I can talk to Kujo face to face, deal with this like grown-ups, like adults, and talk to each other. But it's not how it pans out. So we get on the call, and the first thing that happens is the lawyer just says, look, Ren, I think that you taking this public was very unprofessional. And I was like, hold on a second, I wasn't the person who took this public, first of all. Like, taking the video down is an aggressive move. And also, I didn't take it public, first of all. Kujo was commenting countless things on his YouTube before I even make the comment. Calling me a liar, a coward, a numb. So, like, to say that I took this public, nah, I just responded to what happened and then explained to my fans why the song was down. Those posts are still up for everyone to see.
Bro, for real, like, how are you gonna comment on, like, my guy's channel, on his music channel, like, And it's not like it's a personal channel. Like, this is like his business channel. To try and get a hold of him, calling him a coward, calling him a numb, calling him all this extra shit. And then like, oh, you shouldn't have taken this public. Bro, you took it public once you started commenting that shit and didn't reach out directly to Ren. You literally commented on a video that's like all his community can see. Everybody that listens to music that go to his channel can see that. You did that shit on purpose, bro. You did that on purpose, because whether it was just to get a response or you just want to discredit Ren because you feel like you didn't get what you were owed. Like, that's what that is, bro.
All the posts on his comments are still there for everybody to see. So first of all, it was kind of like we got into it straight away with me like having to be like, I put it straight and then everyone was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. The funniest thing about that call is Kujo was on it. He did not say a single word. Even when I like addressed him with questions, his lawyer would interject and go, I can answer that. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to talk to the person who's like, you know, like an adult. I want to talk to this person. And then my lawyer there's even a moment where my lawyer's like, look, I want to address this question to Kujo. Do you actually feel like this situation is fair? He says nothing, and the lawyer interjects again. So for that whole call, which, you know, took about half an hour, 40 minutes, he didn't say a single word. And I thought that was disrespectful.
It was.
Given the circumstances. He later claimed that it was because he doesn't legally know enough and it should be between the lawyers. But no, man.
Bro, what? What are you, a child? You're a grown man. You make music. This is something you should, bro. I'm trying not to rant on this. This is very stupid. This is stupid because look, okay, check this out, bro. If you work in a field that requires some kind of like knowledge of a law, whether it be music or something like that, like, bro, you need to know the law in regards to your art. Cause like, I'm gonna be honest here, bro. If I'm making music and professional and like producing or whatever it is, like I have two brothers that are DJs, for example, so like I know a little bit about it. So if I'm making music, right, and I'm making these beats for somebody and I give them the form of everything like that, like I'll know the law in the back of my head. Granted, you don't want to rely on the law, because like the way this looks like, it's like he just doesn't know anything. It's like he's just there to be there. Like for that case, why even show up on the call? Like if you weren't gonna talk, like that makes no sense to me. That makes no sense to me. If you're selling a product, you need to know the law and how it affects what you're selling and what kind of like complications it could bring up later for you and that customer. It's crazy to think like, bro, it's crazy. This situation is nuts. Like, how are you, a grown man working in this industry, making these beats for customers? And you say you've dealt with situations like this in the past. Did you do the same thing? It's just crazy. If you're getting asked questions directly, as long as like it's not like anything crazy, if it's like simple questions, like you should be able to answer that without any like legality leaking into whatever you're saying. It doesn't make sense to me. That is really crazy. It's very disrespectful to show up on a call where you're trying to handle this situation between the customer and the person selling it. Like that's crazy to me, bro. I see why he made this diss track. I see why.
Like, regardless of your legal knowledge, we can still have a conversation like adults. Like I'm not here to try and like intimidate or anything like that. I want to talk to you like a grown-up, brother. And that didn't happen. I wasn't afforded that luxury. I was talking a fair bit on that call about how I felt about the situation and what I felt was right. And I also said on that call that I didn't think that a retroactive split was right, because of all the reasons I've mentioned. But it is what it is, man. And then we came off the call and I felt pretty let down by it, to be honest. This is where the plot gets even more ridiculous, and I'm sorry this is a long video, guys, but this is mad, and this is emotionally exhausting, this bit. So I read a bunch of comments on Instagram from this person talking about the contract, saying things that aren't actually in the contract. I'm like, who the f is this? So I message him and be like, yo, by the way, you're misinformed. The contract actually doesn't state that it's on me to clear the samples. Then I click on the profile, I realise that it's Kujo's girlfriend, so I immediately unsend all those messages, because to be honest, look, he was getting grief from my fans, and I think to myself, you know what?
Trolling Valorant players with a neon voice changer. Reyna, you want to see how fast neon really is?
You like the voice?
He needs someone supporting him, even though that he's been an arsehole. I don't want to like start messaging his girlfriend and shit, whatever. I'll leave her out of this. But she sees that I've unsent the messages, and she instigates the conversation, says, have you done an oopsie? We start chatting for a long time. We'll put those messages up so that you can read it. it actually ends up being, it seems to me like it's like semi-amicable after a while of talking to each other.
Oh my god!
Like you can pause this and read this if you want. It's like basically the long and short of it is like she feels like Kujo's been misrepresented and feels like it's a lot of the industry's fault, my lawyer's fault and stuff like that, which is kind of what Kujo feels like, right? She then threatens to break my kneecaps, which, even though it's a little bit out of pocket, you know me, I laugh.
Leave him out of this if you do, please. Look, or else I'll find a limit and break your leak. Okay, maybe this was said as a joke, but yeah, I don't know. That's crazy.
About it. The thing that rubs me up about things like that is if that had been the other way around, I never actually once got violent about this situation. If that had been the other way around, they'd have been like, Ren's such a violent, later on they would have been like, Ren's such a violent person or using bully tactics, because they've spoken about like how I'm using bully tactics by simply talking about the situation publicly, transparently. She also gaslights me by saying
Facts. But anytime you're with somebody, talking to them directly, instead of tiptoeing around their feelings, it's like you're bullying instead of it just having a conversation between two consenting adults. That's what it is nowadays. Nowadays you gotta tiptoe around every little person that it gets their feelings hurt. Like it's frustrating, bro. I get it, Ren. I get it.
Like, imagine what would have happened if he had mental health issues. I have a very long list of mental health issues. I am the person with mental health issues.
Right.
You're not considering what it does to my mental health, are you, when you take down a song that means that much to me? A song that I've poured into, that I'm exposing a part of me that's very vulnerable about my health journey. Like, you're not considering that, are you? All I've done is post publicly about the situation. I've never told anybody to send you guys abuse or anything like that. And actually, if anybody's watching this right now, for clarity, even though I am very annoyed about the situation, I don't want anyone to send them abuse. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm annoyed about the situation, but it's done now. The song's down. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not trying to ruin somebody's life over this. I'll have my own form of revenge, as you'll see at the end of this video. But I'm not trying to ruin anyone's life over this. So, like, if they say to me that I'm trying to incentivize stuff like that, I'm not, guys. I don't want you to go and abuse them, right? But it is up to me to talk about this situation fairly. So, like, we seem to make some middle ground. She's even talking to me about like her ADHD and knows that I've got ADHD and like, you know, maybe we just got. And so I'm like, you know what? She seems pretty level-headed, right? So like, cool. You know what? Maybe these guys it's just a big misunderstanding and we can.
Wait, what does that message say? I know, but that was unfair of you to force him to deal with this publicly. It's a bit of a violation. You can be upset and disagree with the terms or even think he's the biggest scammy sick in the world, but you can't force him into the public like that when you have a huge platform, you have responsibility. That's what. Okay, I'm putting myself in your shoes. Trust me. No. You forced yourself publicly when you commented on his page. When you commented on his YouTube video, you then put yourself in the public eye. This is not something Ren did. This is something Kujo did. If Kujo would have reached out to Ren directly and then Ren did something publicly, then that would have been on Ren. But the fact that he initiated this and started this shit is all Kujo's fault. So you can't sit there and say that Ren dragged him into the spotlight. That's not what happened, bro. Like...
Cool. You know what? Maybe these guys it's just a big misunderstanding and we can figure a way to amicably sort this out. And I say to her, look, yeah, I'm happy to split the publishing, but I don't really want to split the master out of principle because I bought this, right? You know, but then at this point I start being like, you know what? Maybe I'll split some of the master for the future stuff just to get this out of the way, even though I don't believe I should because they've stolen the beat with a stolen sample. I'm like,
he holds grudges. He's upset about the public shaming and the fall out from that. It's his fault, not Ren's, but we've already gone over that. Just from on an emotional level, I understand you may need to hear him acknowledge that, but you have to come to terms with the fact that it might not happen. That doesn't make him an asshole. It does make him an asshole. It does. When Ren's had tried to had a conversation with this dude on the phone to sort this out between them, he stays silent and lets his lawyer or his representative handle it. That's very disrespectful, especially when you're trying to like get to a common grounds on a very serious topic in regards to like a music song, right? So I don't get how that makes him. That's exactly what it makes him. That makes him an asshole, dude. I get it coming from lack of experience in these situations where songs blow up and right holders who most of the time aren't even the performers ask way too much because they have people over a barrel. It doesn't make him an asshole, but it does make him feel less good about the fact that I'm actually giving him money. Technically, I technically shouldn't be able to. Technically shouldn't be to cover his mistake. Excuse me. I'm gonna do it regardless because I believe people should get paid for their input, but I'm taking the fall for something he's done, which is why when I read the comments like it's all Ren's lawyer, I then explode. It makes sense. It makes sense. When you think you're safe, you buy this beat from this company, and then like now you're going through this crazy situation where the song that meant so much to you, talk about your health issues and everything like that. Now you have to deal with this situation because this person, quote unquote, doesn't feel like they're taken care of legally and royally. I don't really get why, because shouldn't that be on the Beats stars? Because he bought the beat directly to Beat stars. I don't know. I feel like it's a little weird.
Right. If this just gets this over the line, I'm happy to split the future master. I even say that in the email thread to the lawyers and stuff, right? So I'm conceding a little bit here because I just want this situation done with.
Yeah.
We end on a good note in this conversation. Then the next morning, I wake up to posts from her all over my Reddit lying about the contract, and then I see a comment on Anthony.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to share the screenshot of the segment. I can, however, refer to indeed the license and should hold the producers harmless in the case of unclear sample on that any of the payment for sample clearance has been the license born. Sending some of the publishing fees should be acceptable, except Ren's team has insisted on giving them all up. I also agree that the publishing society should be held accountable, but it's still Ren's track in the end. KUJO has no responsibility there. How does he have no responsibility? You made the track. What is this? Bro, what is this, dude? You made the track. You literally made the track and sold it to Ren. This is your obligation. Regardless if you go through a third-party company like BeatStars, you and Ren have had an agreement for this track. Like, you should make sure this track is good. It should not be on the artist to do this. It is on publishing. Like, what is this? Like, why do they keep trying to like deflect the responsibility of making sure this track is cleared for the consumer? And what field in the world do you sell somebody a faulty product and then you're free of all responsibilities? I've never heard that before. And bro, I'm 34. Like, I worked in fast food. I worked with merchandises. Like, I worked with like ordering trucks and stuff like that to see how it works. If you get sold a faulty product, you return that product and you get a new one. I never heard of somebody trying to deflect the responsibilities of not making sure this track was good and legal. Like, I don't understand why they keep trying to deflect the blame. Like, that makes no sense to me, bro. And all those statements are misinterpretation of KUJO's intent / state of mind and what actually went down behind closed doors. KUJO never asked for more than he was owed. That's not true. Yeah, I asked for 50% and the $3,000, 3,000 pounds, and then you said you would do 100%. You would take 100% of the thing while doing it. He never said he asked for 100% either. That's not, and that was never what he had planned. Plain and simple. He's now assuming Ren is Drake level wealth, but he's actually more wealthy and more powerful than him. Okay, so there's no point denying that. I mentioned it to highlight the consequences of a potential court case. It could be costly for both, but it might actually ruin a small producer like KUJO. Ren knows that, and I believe that's why he made more threats. Those threats, just in my opinion. So, okay, unfortunately, I'm unable to share a screenshot of that document. I can, however, confirm that indeed, if you can't show the screenshot of it, you shouldn't be talking about it. Simple, because like you're trying to like. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird situation, bro. Some of the publishing fees could be acceptable, except Ren's team has insisted on him giving them all up. Also agree to publicly trying to hold. Ren is actually so loaded you can milk him when he's an independent artist. Having to pay the salaries of all those who work for him. You're not talking to Drake level wealth and regular. Okay, was this like some notes that she took or something? Could you responsibility? I'm not sure why. Not sure Kujo would want to collab again, given the debacle this has taken. The whole social media thunderstorm is messy, very stressful, and honestly unnecessary. Yeah, it is unnecessary. It is unnecessary. Like, if you guys could have been squashed this, but you chose a more difficult approach for this. Like, I'm gonna be devil's advocate right here, in the middle here, right? 'Cause Ren offered you a different situation to clear not this. And honestly, you would have made more money by collabing with him on another song than you would have in this little contract dispute. This is weird to me. It's like, okay, yeah, you had a bad situation happen from this one song. Okay, let's work towards a different goal. And like, okay, let's make a song together. You get 50% of the split. 50%. Bro, that is a lot. That is a lot to gain from it. So to me, I don't really understand this situation and why it's escalating so far. You had a perfect situation where you could have made way more money than what you're asking for. Like, to me, that's just stupid. Like, isn't it? Like, that's dumb. Like, if you have an opportunity to make more money than what you're grieving about, I would have just took that option. If it was me personally, I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe it didn't work out the first time. That's fine. We'll do this song here. We'll make this 50% split. Blah blah blah. You guys both agree on it, and then you get 50% of the split for the money. So to me, this is crazy. This is a crazy situation for me because, like, honestly, like, you stand to make a lot more money doing it that way. But maybe you're sticking to your guns and your morals or whatever it is. I don't know. Either way, you guys made a beat off a stolen sample that really cost Ren to be in this crazy situation when you guys should have checked it to make sure it was done. Because, like, Ren's not the one that made the sample. Y'all are the ones who made the sample. So trying to deflect the blame onto Ren seems like unfair and kind of ridiculous in my opinion.
Ray's video where he's talking about the situation from her, saying this is what the contract says, and she made up she wrote a whole passage that wasn't even in our contract. It was completely made up. So after her being super nice to me behind the scenes in this conversation and feeling like I wake up to read this and I'm like, I start losing my mind because I'm like, these guys, they pretend they're on my side and then it's just like they publicly post all this stuff. So I'm like, I put her up on it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, first of all, this is defamation. You can't be out here like making up stuff that's not even in the contract, you know? So she's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Right, so next I find a bunch of messages on Reddit from Kujo's girlfriend lying about the contract, which I'm going to put up here, which is actually very illegal, by the way. No, I won't be pressing charges over it. I just want to get this situation out of the way, but so I'm just going to put all these up for you to pause and read if you want to. It's ridiculous, basically. She also says that I was obviously upset, so I wasn't the most cooperative. As you guys, if you skip back in this video, you'll see I was extremely cooperative when I found out what was going on. I was being very amicable when I was trying to offer Kujo solutions and being amazingly supportive and sympathetic. I refuse to fully acknowledge that a mistake on my end causing Kujo not to get paid was at the heart of all of this. It wasn't. A stolen sample was at the heart of all of this. Yes, the publishers, right, failed to correctly register Kujo, which wasn't anything to do with me. They've now remedied that and there'll be a back payment for whatever percentage we end up on. No money's been lost here, right? That is something that was the publisher's fault, which I was very annoyed about, which I actually sent a message to the publishers about, explaining how annoyed I was about that situation, fighting for Kujo in that, when I didn't have to fight for Kujo because he was being a prick, right? So I sent that message to them anyway, fighting on Kujo's side, because despite all of this, I am a man of principle still, right? I kept threatening to sue and go public. No, I didn't. I wasn't threatening to sue. I did say I would go public if my song carried on being used as leverage. I gave them a very fair warning because they didn't need to use the video as leverage, and they kept on doing that. That was because I kept getting hundreds of messages a day from my fans being like, where's the video, and I wanted to address it all at once, and I also felt like I was being treated extremely unfairly, right? I had to accept by giving up all my shares of the song in exchange for a fixed fee. Yeah, that was something between my lawyers. Ren took in public the next morning. Yes, I did.
Like, you're my ass. That's crazy. Plus, yesterday it said that you guys were chasing for a year. Kujo's told me that multiple times. I can't go back to grab proof. Hold up. I can go back and grab proof. What happened is Kujo has been asking Blank and his publishing for almost a year. When the song was posted, and Blank pretty much goes to him until the Bulgarian showed up at your door. I know you're angry, but everything you're posting or telling me that isn't true makes the situation 1,000 times more complicated. Okay, but wait. You just said it wasn't until Paul emailed you. That was April, in my understanding. And then he contacted Kujo back and tried to get him to give up his publishing for the sample. Did you ever reach out to Blank regarding publishing before the Bulgarian choir situation? Please tell me, you guys. Please tell me you did, because it helps you guys, and I'm trying my best to help you guys out here. Bro, I'm not angry right now. I just woke up and I have ADHD, so I have no effing memory, nor sense of time. What's so ridiculous? This is ridiculous, dude.
Right, let's take this home now. Right, let's take this home now. At this point, I've just lost all amicability, right? I'm pissed off. I messaged Kujo's girlfriend and him saying, this is the first time I've threatened to sue, but I'm like, if I see any more lies from you guys about this situation, I will sue you guys. Because it's like, that's my public image.
I'm leaving you, but no. I'm leaving now, but I'm going to make this very clear. I never once threatened to sue up until now, but if I see one single post which lies about the facts of the situation, I will sue for defamation. From either you or Kujo, stick to the facts, stick to everything that was said in these messages, stick to the reality of the contract, then post whatever you like. Please don't contact me again. This has been so frustrating that future, if your boyfriend is annoyed about something, in the future, if your boyfriend is annoyed about something, tell him to contact the effing artist about it and read his own contract before throwing a hissy fit. Oh, bro, dude.
It's like, I pride myself on the fairness that I show everyone that I work with, right? And my principles. And I'm also very against greed, and I stand against it militantly, which a lot of you will know from my work and how I treat people. How I treat people that I work with, right? So them spreading this stuff that I'm trying to be greedy here massively hurts my public image. So I was like, if you guys lie anymore about this, yeah, I'm going to do something about it, basically. And then I'm talking to Kujo and things get more heated. We get another email from their lawyer saying, you know, like, if you won't agree to our terms, we will take 100% of the song. That's where we stand on it. That is final. If you do not agree to this retroactive master split, we're taking everything. So I messaged back. I'm going to show you that email. I messaged back, essentially summarizing this email. I just say, I'm going to take down the song myself. I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up of you threatening me with my own song that I poured myself into. I've explained what it means to me. I explained to both of them what it means to me. So I'm like, I'm taking it down myself. I don't want to let them win over this. I've been in situations in the music industry before where I had to concede because I was broke, and I just had to let a powerful, greedy person win over me, you know, like. And I know this is not the same situation. It's not like Kujo is like this in this huge position of power here, but how they've dealt with this whole situation was ridiculous. So I was like, rather than like bend to this leverage and just out of principle, I'm just going to take the song off. And it's ironic, man, because the song is about greed, you know, and it hurts me a lot that it's down now. It proper hurts me, man. I can't stress that enough because of what the song was and what the song meant to me, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So I sent these emails. I also sent a mass email out to everybody, the publisher, Kujo, the lawyers involved, just saying how disappointed I am across the board, even from people on my side. I was just disappointed at how this whole situation been dealt with, because ultimately at the core of this situation, the only person getting proper hurt financially from this is me, right? Because of my hard work that I've done to promote this music, because of my story and how that's been exploited. I'm the person who will suffer future losses for the earnings, and that regardless of earnings, fuck earnings for a second, that song I was proud of. What it meant to people, I was proud of. The messages that I get from people every day, telling me like, how much they relate to the song, how much it helps them through difficult times, you know? Like, that's gone now. That's taken away from people. So yeah, I'm pissed off. Anyway, so I send that email out. Me and Kujo share some pretty heated words. If you're a petty person, you'll probably like to pause on some of this. It's ridiculous.
What he said, I don't give a fuck about the details anymore. I just want this to be over and get my bag. Tell Blank whatever you want, so he can tell my guy we can settle FFs. Why is he talking like he's messaging on S-Spot's party chat? Fuck.
Person, you'll probably like to pause on some of this. It's ridiculous.
Okay, you didn't say a single sentence on the call, not one. That's because I was a professional handling the business like an adult. Like it, bro. What? You handled that like a child. You didn't handle that like an adult. An adult would have spoke up for himself. A man would have spoke up for himself. You don't let another man speak up for you. What? Bro, I'm sorry, bro. If I'm in a situation where it's about money and like I can handle that situation myself, I don't need to bring the lawyers into it. Like I'm a speak up, bro. That's crazy to me, bro. I'd never let another man speak up for me like that. When my lawyer asked me to speak, he said nothing. It's actually pathetic. Yeah, because he was trying to play me. Stupid ass. What? You sold an unlicensed sample and chasing more money than you're owed. Where's my effing money then? Bro, you were paid for the sample, wasn't he? Like in the $100 thing? That wasn't what it would cost? Bro, this is crazy, bro.
One of the things that took the piss the most that he said when I just lost my cool at this point. I lost.
Not gonna listen to your messages, but just want to let you know I think Blank has done you dirty. This whole thing in his own interest. From one artist to another, I'm sorry it came this far. It got so effed up. I'm going to talk to Blank to see what options we have to end it this month so we can move on. I advise you to hire a new lawyer piece. If advertised, the same brother suggesting you take down a song about even contacting an artist and then threatening to remove it before we even heard back from the original sample owners is bonkers. If you don't want to listen, I'll say it here. If I see one more lie from you, your girlfriend in this situation, I will sue for defamation. So be very careful. Stick to the facts. Don't threaten me, idiot. We never lied. It's a promise. Unlike you and your fans, your girlfriend's literally wrote a whole passage, not in the contract. Whatever. What is this, dude? How do you handle yourself like this? This is so unprofessional, bro. This is so unprofessional. This is crazy. And you literally said it to me. It was my responsibility to clear the samples multiple times. Can we stop the petty shot? You can't stop it, bro. Y'all, bro. I see why Ren is so mad about the situation, because this situation is driving me crazy. I'm not even a part of it.
Patience. One of the funny things he said after all this was like, if you really cared about your fans, then you would leave them the song. So he was turning it.
In the song, just saying. The original contract didn't have a master split. If you want to chase a breach of the contract, you could. You're letting your pride and ego get in the way, mate. I'm not trying to chase with you except my bag. Once I get paid, you can do whatever you want with the song. I don't just pay me and let's end this for already.
Around on me when he'd used the song as leverage. He said, if you cared about your fans, you leave it up for them. Then he said, I'm letting my pride and ego get in the way because I'm not paying him money that I didn't think he deserved for selling a stolen beat, right? He's saying that that's my ego. It's my ego's fault. And then he's just saying, he kept saying, just pay me, let me get my bag. I want the money, just give me my money. I explained to him again, like, dude, I'm not the person that pays you the money. I've explained this to you so many times. It's the publisher. And he's like, all right, cool. It finally seems.
Give me the. Oh, what? Why are we still talking? Just pay me, dude. How many times? I'm not a publisher. The money is between you and the publisher. Again. All right, then, peace. Your music sucks, by the way. Let's compare how well it's doing if you want to go to the go that route. Boy, you're a child, lad. One that can't even talk for himself. That's basically what I said. He doesn't, like, I'm sorry, I'll never let another man talk for me unless it's something I need to be legally quiet about. I'm not. This was nothing like threatening, like from what the details that Ren's showing. It's like nothing threatening about it. Like, that's wild, bro.
Seems to sink in that, like, I haven't stolen this man's money. I haven't taken a penny of this man's money. The publisher was at fault for not registering it properly, and they're resolving that, and then he'll get his money from the publishing. I don't want a penny of that. I don't care about that money. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. He deserves a bit of money for making that part of the beat. Sure. He shouldn't have stolen a sample and sold it to me. Theoretically, he could have all of his publishing taken away, but even after all of this, I still agreed to give him a bit of a publishing split just to shut him up, man. So it's like, I could have been even more petty and dug my feet in there, but I just want this situation over with. So the song's down. The funniest comment that I'm going to end this on, because this is going to be some album artwork, by the way. Single artwork, sorry. This is the next announcement. He goes, "Alright, peace. Your music sucks, by the way." Which is really funny, considering, you know, the message earlier where he told me that it was an honor, or it was like, it was really good to work with me. You know, funny. It's funny, hypocritical. Funny. But yeah, sure, my music sucks, brother. Cool. That's going to be the single artwork, which leads me to my last point, ladies and gentlemen. I'm releasing a song about this whole situation, and it's dedicated to Kujo. And it's coming out next week. It's coming out a week today. It's called Kujo Beatdown.
Yeah.
And I love it. We made an amazing video for it. I made a beat. By the way, the beat has no unlicensed samples in it. I made the whole thing myself. I wrote all the lyrics myself. All the beats are mine. And that'll be going up on YouTube and Spotify next week. I'll also be recreating Sick Boi, because those lyrics and that arrangement is mine. So for the anniversary of Sick Boi the album, you will be getting Sick Boi the beat remade, bigger and better than ever, without Kujo's input on it. So look forward to that as well.
That's dope, dude.
There's also a third song dropping that's a little bit more positive. Next week's song is angry, alright? I'm just going to warn you there. And before Kujo and his, like, before they start complaining about blah, 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 artistic license here, you know what? I've said my piece. I'm not interested in ruining your life, bro, but I felt like I needed to get it out somehow. And so I got it out somehow. And I hope you're watching this, man. And I hope you enjoy the song, because it's dedicated to you, baby. Anyway, guys, I know that this was a long video, but I wanted there to be no doubt as to where everything stood in this situation, and why you don't have a song that means so much to so many people and means so much to me. But there will be a revamped version of that song coming very soon, guys. And if you've made it this far, thank you sincerely. And I hope there can be no doubt as to this situation. Thank you.
It sucks that he had to go through that. Like, on some real shit, like, that situation is crazy. But I don't know if I was like Ren. He might not even go that route, going through beats. Maybe he will still go through them, but he'll be more strenuous with the beats. He'll probably have like actual people start checking the beat before he releases the song going forward. But this whole situation is crazy, dude. I didn't know all that shit had gone through with it, especially with the girlfriend. And like, now I get her whole role in it, why he included her. So, dude, this is crazy, bro. Like, the fact that he had to go through all this for a song. The dude makes a beat for him, and the beat is like, oh, it's not even like his beat. He stole the beat, and then he sold it to a customer, and then tells that same customer that they should have checked the beat themselves, blah, blah, blah. It's their responsibility, not the person selling it, which is crazy to me, because I've never heard of that, you know, and I've been around for a minute now. So, like, it's crazy that this situation went as far as it did. And, like, especially when Ren is just constantly trying to give olive branches to the dude. It's like, hey, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Let's make a song together. We can do 50-50 split. So now, instead of all that happening, you make the situation bigger and bigger, because it's probably like, what, I don't know 15 minutes of fame because he said he works a full-time job. So like he was really trying to just gaslight Ren and just like stretch that situation as far as possible from my perspective. Like I don't know if that's his actual intention, but it just kind of looks that way, where like he just kept doing that. He just kept stretching the situation instead of like handling it the way he could have. And then they start talking about how they're gonna start suing, not suing, but like they're gonna claim 100% on the video or song or whatever it is. And then it gets to the point where his girlfriend gets involved and she talking about breaking his kneecaps and all this craziness, bro. Like this is crazy, bro. That situation, like I would hate to be in that situation, bro. Having to deal with somebody like this who's being very unprofessional about the whole situation. You should have gotten that call. You should have answered the question. If you felt the question wasn't something you should answer, you could just defer to your lawyer. But all in all, not to say a single word on an hour call is crazy. Like you should speak up for yourself. Like you're only speaking up for yourself through text message. Like he's like a keyboard warrior. Like to me, that's like kind of what the way it comes off of, and like the way he was texting towards the end. Like music sucks, by the way. That's to me is just somebody who's mad about the situation. They didn't get what they wanted, and they're just trying to take a jab at you real quick before they leave the situation. So all in all, the situation is crazy. I'm glad that Ren is re-releasing Sick Boi though. With a different beat. Like I actually can't wait for that. I actually like the Sick Boi song, so it's cool. It's cool to hear that he's actually gonna do that. And then the KUJOBEATS song, I like that song. I think it was a good song. Like I said at first, I didn't know it was a diss track until like way later on. But yeah, I know this is a very, very, very long video. Like I didn't expect it to go an hour and 20 minutes, but at the same time, like this video, it has so much information and detail with Ren. You can literally see this frustration and this anger on his about this whole situation. But anyways, guys, like what do you guys think about the situation? Like, I think either way, both parties left the conversation unsatisfied, and though Ren had made the best of what he did, like it wasn't the conclusion that he wanted it to be, because like obviously he wanted the original song Sick Boi to stay up and for his fans and everybody to enjoy. So he didn't get what he wanted at the end of the day, but still, like I'm glad to see Ren is still taking steps forward to get past it. Yeah, he's gonna vent out his frustrations on Kujo Beatdown, but then he's going to just show like more positive aspect with the new song, and then also with the new version of Sick Boi. It's cool to see that he's able to get past that. Hopefully Kujo uses this situation as like something to learn from, and just like be more humble about, and that kind of thing, and like just vent out your tracks a little bit more, or whatever you have to do, so everything works out fine. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. This video is super long, I know, but yeah, like I said, hopefully both parties get what they want outside of this and just move forward and just do what they gotta do. But I'm glad to see Ren's on the right track. I'm out of here, guys. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.